Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Let There Be Talk. It is October 6th, a Thursday, and this episode is brought to you by my fantastic sponsor, El Cajon Harley, my favorite Harley-Davidson dealer in the United States. I don't care where you live. Get your motorcycle from El Cajon Harley. Give them a call. You will love these guys. You'll love the dealership. Everything there is fantastic. It's just a super cool vibe. When you walk into the dealer, it's not a bunch of burnouts. These guys are into motorcycles. They ride motorcycles. They also love comedy, so how cool is that? Outside the box thinking, sponsoring Let There Be Talk. We got to get them some love. Let's get a motorcycle down there. Let's get our bike serviced. Get a helmet, maybe some new boots, some tires, whatever you need. El Cajon Harley is your one-stop motorcycle shop. Right down there in Southern California, the sunny San Diego area, El Cajon Harley. Ask for my boy Greg Riley. Also, check out the brand new Harley-Davidson touring bikes with the Milwaukee 8 engine. This engine kicks ass, man. I can't wait to get myself one. Check them out, El Cajon Harley. You can see them on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Call them up. Tell them you heard about it right here on Let There Be Talk. Oh, and also, check out the new Sportster. I forgot to talk about this because I wrote it and it's awesome. The Roadster. Brand new Sportster. Just super badass. The Roadster. Anyway, go down there. You can test ride some bikes. They finance. They'll get you financed. Hit them up, El Cajon Harley. All right, how are you guys? Episode's a little late. I've just been burning the fucking candle at both ends. And all week, working my ass off. Been out there hosting the Cat House 30th anniversary shows. Tonight's going to be the second one. Last night was insane. And I'm going to have a little special episode on that coming up. Ricky Rackman just crushing it last night at the Roxy. He, 2 nights celebrating the 30th anniversary. I won't get too much into it, but listen to the episode coming up, man. It's just been so wild last night, and tonight's going to be insane again. So that's what I've been doing, and friends in town, running around and doing comedy in between all this, and podcasting and everything else. So, yeah, here it is, late, like Thursday evening. Anyway, I hope you guys are doing good. I want to get into this episode. Tomorrow is October 7th, and that's a big, big day for my guest today, Mr. Russell Peters. One of the funniest comedians I've ever seen, and one of the nicest guys I've ever gone on the road with. Just an amazing, amazing international superstar comedian. If you don't know Russell Peters, that's funny because he spoofs on it a little bit, calling his tour the Almost Famous Tour, which is completely funny when you see the size of rooms that he does. Full-blown arenas. I mean, everything Madison Square Garden size and bigger all over the world. I can't even imagine just going around the world doing comedy. I don't even know, like... Sometimes my stuff doesn't even work in a different city because people are like, whoa, this guy, what is this, you know? I can't imagine going to like Saudi Arabia or, Hong Kong or London or anywhere in the world that this guy has gone. His tour was 2.5 years. He was out there working up a special, and by the time he shot it, he had already wrote 1 hour and then wrote a whole nother hour, which is unbelievable. You're going to love this guy. He's honest. He gives a lot of great advice on what to do and what not to do and stand up. He's just like a great fucking friend of mine. His special comes out tomorrow on Netflix, like I said, and also this is a return of Russell Peters. He was actually one of the first few guests on Let There Be Talk about 4.5 years ago. So after you listen to this one, go back and listen to that one. and find out how he started in comedy and everything that he did to get to where he is now in the arenas. It's amazing. Amazing to think about comedians doing arenas. And, you know, there's no mystery. I talk about it here all the time on the podcast. I'm like, shit, I'm going to such and such. I hope some people show up. And then maybe 30, 40 people show up and you're like, oh, wow. You know, there's nothing harder than transferring, you know, what you do into butts in the seats. A lot of times these rooms are papered free tickets. People aren't really into comedy and stuff. And you're just in there slugging it out, making a name for yourself, picking off people one at a time. Like, boom, there's somebody that likes what I'm doing. He'll tell somebody, boom, there's another one, one at a time. So imagine doing that for 27 years until your one at a time turns into 16 or 18,000 people in an arena like Madison Square Garden. It's just hard work, nonstop grinding, writing, and slugging it out. So, you know, what Russell has created, there's only a couple comedians in the world that have gotten to this level. So anytime this guy talks, I'm ready to listen. And I want to hear everything that he has to say. It's anybody that's successful in life, stop and listen to what they're saying. And even if it's not anything that you're pursuing. But I mean, success is awesome. Because it always starts with hard work. Every fucking time. You go, how did you get there? And they go, hard work. I've never heard, I got lucky. When they say they got lucky, they're just being modest, and you go back and you go, guy didn't get lucky. This guy dug ditches for years until he fucking found gold. Anyway, watch a special and then come see us in San Jose. Brand new shows announced. San Jose Improv, October 27, 28, 29, 30. I will be opening for Russell Peters at the San Jose Improv. Also, New York, I'll see you next week, huh? I'm touching down little JFK on October 11th, and I'll be at the Stand for 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 at the Stand, New York City. Can't wait. And also, Sacramento Punchline has been added November 10, 11, 12, and the San Francisco Punchline December 15, 16, 17. So some great shows coming up, ending the year there. And it's coming down the wire. Another year gone by. Another year gone by. All right, let's get into it. Candles lit. Russell Peters. All right, here we are, another episode of Let There Be Talk. Special bonus episode today. Great friend of mine, great guest, comedian Russell Peters. How are you, buddy?
What's up, Dino?
Yeah.
We're sitting here in my kitchen.
Yeah, in Malibu.
In Malibu.
Yeah, beautiful day.
Not too shabby. You rode your bike out here.
Yeah, perfect weather today. What a ride, man. It's like 6 months of like 99 degrees, and then it cools off finally. You know?
But then it's going to be hot again this weekend, apparently.
Yeah, right? It's just...
Which I have no problem with.
I know, you love it.
You don't like it.
We were just talking about it. You're like, I go, man, I got to get out of the valley. It's blazing. You're like, I love that.
I do love the heat.
Then you must... It's too cool here for you, right?
No, actually, Malibu's pretty warm in the winter.
Wow. Yeah,
Vegas is cold as shit in the winter.
Oh, that shit sucks, right?
Yeah, it's really cold there. People don't know that. If they don't live there, they're like, oh, Vegas is hot all year. It's a desert. I'm like, yeah, it's cold as shit in the winter.
I've been there. I was there, and it snowed.
I remember waking up one morning in Vegas and in my house, and I look out the window, and everything was covered in snow. And I literally thought I was back in Canada.
It's crazy, right? Just desert snow. When it's cold in Vegas, it feels extra cold because there's like a wind.
Yeah, there's nothing to protect you. There's no fucking shrubbery.
Yeah, there's no buildings except the Strip, you know? How are you, man?
I'm good, buddy. I haven't seen you in a long time since last night, even.
Yeah, I saw you last night, but before that, I haven't seen you in forever.
Yeah.
You've just been on the road for, what was it, 2 years?
2.5 years. Nah, now I'm off.
I was thinking back to when you first kind of started that tour. We're coming up on Thanksgiving next month. It was 2 Thanksgivings ago then, because I was...
That was when the tour was already underway.
Yeah. Yeah, because you were going to do Madison Square Garden.
A month later.
And so you decided to do some clubs to just run some stuff.
Yep.
And so we did Comedy Works, and then we did Crackers.
Where was Crackers?
In Indianapolis.
Oh, wow. I forgot about that gig.
Yeah, right?
That was interesting, right? Wasn't it?
Yeah. I forgot about it, too. I just remember...
It seems like it was forever ago.
It really does. Because I've been to Comedy Works a few times since.
I see that on your Instagram. One sec. Babe, she's got the ball again, that little yellow ball. I don't know how she got it or where she got it from. She's in the hallway. We got a puppy, and she's kind of an asshole.
That dog is like, it's crazy, right?
Yeah, she's the puppy, right? She's really mischievous, so what are you going to do?
She just comes right up to you and like smashes into you like, give me something.
Yeah, give me some attention.
That's hilarious.
And the worst thing is she doesn't want to be pet like, normal dogs. She wants to be chased, and she wants to eat your food, and she's a dick like that.
She's got that look in her eyes of like, this place is mine.
Yeah, she's a jerk.
So yeah, man, it's amazing. You're about to put out a special tomorrow on Netflix, Almost Famous.
Yep.
And where did you go? You went everywhere, right?
Literally everywhere. I went to places I hadn't been to before. I went to Saudi Arabia.
Wow.
I went to Kuwait.
What was that like?
That's wild. They're dry countries, so there's no alcohol in them.
Oh, man, and you're doing comedy in English?
Yeah, well, that's the only language I speak.
Well, I don't know. I didn't know if you spoke some other languages.
No, I don't.
And you find, how do you know if that stuff is going to work? It's amazing to have a comedian on who's done stuff like that, because is the material just universal and they're getting it, or?
Yeah, I write it that way so that if I do have to modify things for certain sensitivities in other countries, then it's an easy modification. I don't, I am not the guy that wants to change his act for you. So,
right.
This is what I'm going to do. And if I have to, if something's a visual joke and it's sexual and they don't want sexual content, I'll just change the visual to somewhere higher. Like there's one bit in my act where I hold the mic down by my dick.
Yeah.
But in Saudi Arabia, I held the mic up literally by my neck. I was like, and then...
What was that like doing comedy in Saudi Arabia? What kind of venue? Because you do.
It had to be out in the middle of the desert because you got to watch out for I think they're called religious police or something like that over there.
Whoa, really?
Yeah, that like they'll come up to you in the mall. These religious police. I'm like, did you pray today? And I'm like, what?
And they fine you if you didn't.
Oh, they fine you, throw you in jail. They do all kinds of crazy shit. I'm like. And, I'm an atheist, so for me, it's even harder. I'm like, no, I don't pray at all.
You didn't say that, did you?
No, I didn't. I don't want to get cute with them because, they don't have much of a sense of humor.
Now, you were in Saudi Arabia. You were telling me a story last night. Can you tell that story?
Well, I don't want to ruin it because it's going to be on Ari's show.
Yeah, don't do that. But
you can see the story on This
on
Is Not Happening.
Yeah. When's that out? Like this week or something?
I think they start airing this month.
I can't wait.
I don't know if mine airs this month, but the show starts re-airing again this month. It was actually a really good crowd, and I had a good time. I was nervous that my story wouldn't go over well, but it went over really well. And Ari was wearing a purple velvet suit, so that helped. Did you practice the story anywhere? Because I just did it. It's not material, right? So right. It's just a story. If you're going to recount a story, I don't think you need to practice recounting a story.
It's true, but I always...
I think it's because the more honest it is, the easier it is to tell. Yeah. Yeah, you're right, because then you know it inside and out. Yeah. I always fear, like, maybe I should bump a couple jokes in here, you know what I mean? Oh, yeah, they happen when you're talking. Yeah. It just kind of just flows, and your brain will let you do these things. Who else was on the night you shot? Shit, I can picture everybody's face and can't remember their names.
That's great though that you did that. I love that show. You know, I auditioned for it. I really wanted to do it.
Why haven't you done it?
I don't know. It's one of the shows I really want to do because I've got like 3 different stories. I like to tell the Angel Dust Motorhead story.
What's that story?
Well, that's just a story. I smoked some Angel Dust at Motorhead with Motorhead. So that's a funny one. And I did that at one of the auditions. And then I've got one about being on tour opening for Tesla, another great one. And then the third one would be the time I prank called Corey Feldman as Axl Rose. So those are the 3. And I don't really tell the stories because I want them to be like a surprise.
Oh, I want to know the Corey Feldman one.
Yeah, I'll tell you that one. But basically, he was in a band and... he had his band, Corey Feldman Band, which recently, did you see he played on TV?
Yeah, and then he got all kinds of like...
flack.
Yeah.
And he was like crying like the worst day of my life, and they brought him back, and it worked for him.
Yeah, I mean, you know, when a man cries...
Yeah. Did you see
Corey
that?
Feldman cries.
Did you see that footage? Mm-mm. Oh my God, it's pretty wild. He's wearing like a hoodie and he's like doing Michael Jackson moves and stuff.
That's what I heard.
Yeah. Yeah, he's doing the moonwalk and stuff. And he's got like these 4 girls, like fake band members, dressed as like angels. It's pretty wild.
I read about it.
Yeah.
But I have not seen it.
You got to see it, man. So anyway, back to going to places. Have you ever gone somewhere and your stuff just wasn't working, like out of the country, and you're like, this is going to be a long night?
Oh, it happens all the time.
Really?
Especially when you're, you know, sometimes culturally people just aren't trained to laugh because a lot of the countries I'm going to are comedy's such a new thing for them.
Right.
So they're used to watching shows where, you know, you just sit back and enjoy the show.
Yeah. You're not part of it.
Yeah, and I'm like, no, I need you to be in the moment with me, guys. I literally have to advise them sometimes. That's why I take an opening act, so they get the idea of to laugh.
Yeah, yeah. I've been out with you a few shows, and it's just great, man. Those it's awesome to go to crowds that don't know you at all.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I was opening for you, and at least like when I opened for Burr or Marin, they know me from the podcast and stuff. But when I opened for you, it was straight cold open, and that's an incredible challenge. I love that.
That's what being a comic is all about.
Yeah,
and that's why I like going up in the rooms right now because you know I'm trying to work out new material and stuff and figure life out. And a lot of the times, I never assume that the audience is going to know me.
Yeah,
because I think it's a horrible assumption to go in with. Everything is boxing to me. So going on stage and assuming the audience knows you is like fighting a guy and thinking about the next opponent. Focus on what's in front of you. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah. Now, that's an interesting thing. You said that you assume that you don't want to assume that people know you. And there is that thing, the name of your tour was Almost Famous, which is hilarious because you're out doing full-blown arenas, and it still seems that some people don't know who you are, right?
Yeah, it's funny to me.
It is funny to me too because people are like, "Who?" and then they YouTube you and go, "This guy's in arenas, Madison Square Garden." You know, there's only a few people that've done it: CK, Burr, you, Aziz, you know, who? Kevin Hart. Yeah, it's amazing to me that like how huge you are. And
just for the record, I did it before all of them.
Wow, you did it before all of them.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
I did it in 2008.
2008, you did it before this last time. That's pretty fucking electric, right? Doing the Garden.
The Garden was pretty wild. I mean, you know, it's such a, you know, it's a buzz.
Yeah, it's an iconic room.
It's an iconic room. And then, you know, people are like, oh, you've done this before. I'm like, it doesn't matter how many times you've done an arena.
Yeah.
It always feels like the first time, and it always feels like you don't deserve it.
What's it like? I didn't do any of the arenas with you. We were doing theaters, but can you actually hear the laughs when you're up there?
Oh yeah, you got to hear the laughs.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was wondering.
Or
your timing's off.
You got to make sure you're there. You got to make sure you're in the moment. If you're not in the moment, you're going to be fucked.
Yeah, you are going to be fucked. Do you enjoy this part where you're at right now, where you're going to be back in the clubs trying to work stuff?
For me, I always get nervous when I have to go back to the clubs. Not so much like playing a club, but when I go to the store or the Improv or the Laugh Factory or something, to these rooms, and I know there's guys like you, and there's all sorts of really hungry guys,
Yeah.
and in the clubs every night working on material,
Still with dreams.
and no, but they got good stuff, and they're like really working it, and I come in and I feel so lazy.
Because you're just, is that because of how you write from the ground up?
I write with nothing. I go out and I just try and figure it out as it's happening, you know. So
What do you do? Do you write premises down in your phone and then just go on?
I don't even.
Really?
I think of things in the day,
Yeah.
and then I go, okay, if I remember that tonight, that means it's really funny, and if I don't, that means it was just a random thought.
And then you start taping the sets on your phone or something and
Nope.
listen? No?
No,
You just roll like winging it always?
winging it, and then I try to remember what got big laughs and why it got the laugh and what did I do on that, and then once I start to sort of formulate, I try to tape myself, but I just can't watch myself, so it doesn't really make any sense for me to do it.
Well, what about audio though, I'm saying?
Yeah, neither.
Wow. That's crazy because, like, I find myself, since I'm at the store a lot, I'm just doing 15-minute chunks. And I'm usually just working the new stuff. So the stuff from 6 months ago, I won't even remember until a guy comes up and goes, hey, you don't do that one bit anymore. I'm like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
I'm going to do that tonight.
I see, like, when you post like this,
The lineups?
the lineups, yeah, and I'm like, fuck, that's a great lineup, but I always think those guys are gonna murder me. Like, I don't want to follow this person, I don't want to follow that person, because I know they actually have material and they're working on stuff.
That's
And then I'm
hilarious.
gonna come up here and just jerk the audience off for 15 minutes. That's how I feel, So
Right.
I think I respect the art maybe a little too much.
Well, I think that's an amazing thing because, like, I think all of us are dying to see it. Like, oh yeah, it's going to be great because I love watching people work new stuff, even if they're eating it and then it starts to work. I'm like, this is great. I saw the guy do this last week and it wasn't really working. And this week he's tooled it up a little bit and it's killing.
Yeah.
I watched Burr and Marin and Ari and a few other guys work their new hour over a couple of years. And then
Yeah.
you see it at the end. It's always interesting for me. I remember the day they first did that. And then I see the special, which I'm looking forward.
Ironically for you, or on the same vein rather, you were on the tour with me 2 years ago.
Yeah.
From when you were on the tour with me to when I recorded it this year, it's a completely different set.
Yeah, that's what I heard because you said the first year you were rolling an hour, and then by the second year, that hour wasn't even going anymore. Now, how did that happen? You were just evolving out there?
I just kept evolving, and it was one of those things where I was like, shit. And then I actually got mad at myself. I was like, I could have taped 2 specials.
Yeah, I know.
One might have been subpar, but I still could have got 2 specials out of this.
Now, when I was out with you, you were doing something really fucking cool that I loved. You had some camera guys so you could do crowd work. And when you were doing crowd work, the camera guys would be on the people in the crowd, so the whole arena was involved.
Yeah, that's always what I do.
Right, okay.
Since day one, we've been doing that.
So now you're doing that on this special? How's this special shot?
Same. We shot it in Toronto at
Your hometown?
in my hometown at Massey Hall, which is a smaller venue. It is. It's only like 3,500 seats or something like that.
Oh, wow. Wow.
So we did 2 nights, and we did it the first night.
That's a Neil Young bootleg from up there.
He played Massey Hall a shit ton.
Yeah, great record, like from the 70s. Oh, yeah. So,
Old man.
old man, take a look at me now. I love him, right? Yeah, you didn't answer. I love it.
No, I don't know enough Neil Young to say I love him, but I know he's a Canadian treasure, so.
So you taped 2 nights.
We taped 2 nights.
Was there a better one out of the 2?
Yeah. The first night, after we taped, everybody on the team was like, all right, we got it. That's great. Perfect. I'm like, okay, cool. So the second night, I guess I was just more relaxed because I knew we had one in the can.
Yeah.
And the second night just blew away the first night. So we didn't even use the first night at all.
Wow.
So we ended up using only the second night show. So
And how long did you shoot? It's an hour on Netflix, right?
I think it's 70-something minutes.
Yeah, because when I was out with you were doing like almost 2 hours.
Yeah, I think we shot like 95 minutes and we shaved it down to 75 or something like that.
Now, here's something everybody wants to know. It's a Netflix show. Did you shoot it on your own dime
Always.
and then sell it to Netflix?
Yep. That's how you do it. Spend your own money and then make your own money back.
Yeah. And is that so you have complete control of the look and everywhere where you shoot it and everything?
Yeah. When it's your money and it's your stuff, you're your own boss.
Right.
You know, I didn't get into comedy so that somebody else could be my boss.
Yeah, that's so true, right?
Nobody gets in this business so they could work for somebody.
That's the worst.
Yeah.
Now, how many specials you got? 4?
No, this is my 8th or 9th.
8th or 9th?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
95, 97, 2003, 6, 8, 10, 13. Oh, yeah, 16. So this is my 8th one.
That's insane. 8 specials, man.
It's crazy, right? 27 years of stand-up, though.
Are you still love it?
I do.
That's
If
why.
I didn't love it, I wouldn't be out in those clubs.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Why would I go and drop in at the Dime on a Tuesday night it's not even a comedy club, you know?
Yeah.
But I need to do that. You need to humble yourself and go and do every little room that there is to do. You need to know what the new kids are doing. You need to know what the veterans are doing. You need to know what the guys that are working, you know what I mean? You need to know this game in and out, top to bottom. You can't just come in and go, this is what I do and it's all I'm going to do.
Yeah, that's so true.
There's a whole generation of that now, though. Like all these kids that get into comedy and don't know what the road is like. And it's fucking irritating. It's not irritating because, you know, we had to do it and why don't they have to do it?
Yeah.
It's irritating because it's like you really don't. You need to see that in order to appreciate this business.
Yeah.
To really appreciate success, you need to know what hard work is first.
Well,
Dean's taking off his shirt right now. I don't know what's happening, but it's getting a little weird.
It's fucking hot in here, baby.
Yeah, something about his tits are popping out.
It's getting hot in here. I'm the worst, that song. You know, it's funny. You think about the road. You think that comics don't go out on the road will never understand being a true comedian?
Yeah, I mean, you need to know the bad in order to really appreciate the good.
Yeah.
Because if everything comes to you easy, you don't respect this business.
Right.
You just won't. You have no reason to respect this business.
Yeah, you just think this is easy.
Yeah, I don't know why everybody made such a big deal about it. And you're like, all right, fuckface, when you fall, you're going to fall hard. Because you're not going to have a base to fall on.
It's funny because right now I'm just starting to go out and headline. And I was talking about it on my episode Monday. I just got like a dose of super drunk crowds.
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah. Is that how you develop the crowd work?
That's how I do it. I mean, I came up doing fucking biker bars and,
Yeah.
you know, it was a different game for me coming up. And, you know, I was also the first Indian guy at that time.
Wow.
I started in 89. There was none.
First Indian guy.
Yeah.
That's pretty wild, right?
Yeah. So for me, it was like, it was a tough one.
I can imagine, right? It's just like people think it was like, to me, they're like, oh, it's tough. You started at older age. It's like, not really. I mean, yeah, it's tough because, you know, I'm older, but still not like being the first Indian comic.
Oh yeah. It's, here's the thing. I started at 19. It was the end of the 80s. And all I had around me were older white comics that were bitter as shit about the heyday ending.
Yeah.
Because I missed the heyday, which was the mid 80s.
Yeah, that gold,
that
big.
was the golden era.
Yeah.
You know, and all I had were these bitter old white guys telling me, "Hey, you don't know, kid, it's fucking game and private planes and cocaine and hookers." And I'm like, sounds great, buddy, but, you know, I'm a 19-year-old kid. I don't know anything about this business. Nobody in my family's been in the entertainment business. I've never been exposed to it in my life. So everything you're telling me doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah. I was getting the same thing when I was starting. They were going like, look at you all fucking excited. And these burnout dudes, not the dudes that are at the store and everything, but when you're out like doing these one-offs at like Brea and stuff.
Yeah.
And this like headliner that doesn't work really much anymore, they'd be like, yeah, you should just get out now, you know? And I'm like,
yeah, I hate that when people are just so negative.
Yeah, and I'm like, you don't understand. This is better than anything.
Yeah.
You just forgot. That's all.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, they act like comedy owes them something.
I'm like, just go back swinging some hammers in the sun. in August, you know what I mean? And then you'll go, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
When you got to be up at 5 a.m. and commute somewhere.
It's funny, I remember a lot of the guys I started with this up in Canada, and, there were some really funny guys. But then I see them now, and they're still doing the exact same act 27 years later. I'm like, oh, I see.
That's crazy, right?
And it's not like the jokes are shit now. The jokes are still hilarious.
Right.
But how have you not written a new bit in 27 years?
Yeah, what do you think makes them stop working? Like, because to me...
I think they just want to make a living.
Yeah. It's not about the art part, right?
Yeah, it's just like, this is my job. The minute comedy becomes a job, you should fucking get out, because... there's no reason for this to feel like a job ever.
Well, that's what's crazy to me. It's just like, I do bits for 6 months and I'm done with them. I was just asking some veteran comics recently, like, how do you do them for the year to get them ready for the special, or a year and a half? Because after 6 months, sometimes the jokes stop working for me,
Well, yeah, you can't be too attached to the jokes.
Right.
You have to understand that some things are just timely, and it's a great joke for that moment. And then there's jokes that will last the entire span of a tour or what have you.
Yeah. Well, that's so true, dude.
I have a joke right now in my act about Donald Trump, and I love the joke, but,
Yeah.
I'll say it here. I don't give a shit. I said Donald Trump is always complaining about, everything's being made by the Chinese, and everything they make is shit, yet he wants to build a wall, and ironically, the Chinese have built the best wall ever.
Yeah, right?
Their wall is so good, it's called great.
The Great Wall of China. That's a great joke, man. That is awesome, man. Yeah, man, it's weird. I got an NWA, the movie, a joke about the movie,
Right.
And it was just, I saw the film and then was on stage that night and asked if anybody's seen it, and they hadn't. And I was like, oh, well, this ain't going to work. Yeah. And that got a big laugh. And then the joke gets some laughs, but they're a lot like late night writing,
Yeah.
where, eventually it's gone.
Yeah, I mean, I have notes in my phone of jokes that I thought of, like, oh, they're garbage now. Look at them now, and I'm like, what made me think that was funny that day?
Isn't that weird when you're in that frame of mind? Like,
look, I got jokes from 8 years ago, like premises that
in
I
your
wrote.
phone right there?
Yeah, look. This has actually happened. Those perfume stores in the mall?
Yeah.
Not like those little low budget ones.
Yeah, they don't have any brands.
Like Dave's House of Perfume. They have all the brands, but it's just like perfume store.
Yeah.
And I went into the perfume store by my mall in Vegas, and the guy had BO.
Obviously didn't use his own product.
Yeah, there's another joke. Look at all these premises I have written in here. People telling you where to look by using the clock reference. Hey, Russell, hot chicks at 4 o'clock. And I'm like, 4. And then they're moving. Okay, 5. I don't know how to read the fucking clock now. Which clock are we looking at? Yeah. These are just premises. So don't judge these people.
Yeah.
This one ended up in the act. Unattractive people sound better on the phone because they have to hone their skills.
I love that. I love to know your process, because it's just like I watch you and you just slay up there for like a long time, and one of the things I'm learning is pacing, and an hour is a whole different game than 30 minutes or even 45 minutes.
Yep.
It's different once you get past that 45-minute mark. Now you're at the check drops. You're at the, they've been in there 2 hours. They're at the look at my phone stuff. But I mean, you know what I mean? It's just fucking crazy out there. I love those phone bags. They had them at the Comedy Works. Wendy got them. I was just there.
Oh, they blocked the phone?
Yeah.
That's good.
It's great, right?
Yeah.
Because you've been doing comedy way before there were cell phones and everything.
I was doing comedy before there were cell phones, before all kinds of stuff, and there was, and you could smoke in the clubs back then.
Wow.
So I remember after a gig, you would fucking stink.
Oh.
Just like your hair, your clothes, everything, and this is at a time where I didn't have money to be dry cleaning everything all the time, so I just have to wear the same stinky clothes over and over.
Yeah, and like if you're bombing, the guy in the front's just blowing cigarettes.
Yeah, I used to literally have jokes about, because I'd be on stage, there'd be clouds of smoke in front of me. I'm like, no, sorry guys, wrong Indian, I can't read these, stuff like that.
That kind of shit.
Yeah.
Smoke signals. Yeah, man, I don't think I would have been able to work during the cigarette era because I just go crazy. I can't take it.
You didn't even notice it then.
Really?
It didn't, until they got rid of it. And then I was like, oh. And I remember when they first got rid of it, I was like, well, that's dumb. How am I going to do that bit?
Oh, yeah, right?
I thought about how it affected my act rather than my health.
I'm the same way. I got a mustache right now.
Yeah.
And I've had it for like 2-3 years now. I'm ready to take it off. But I got 2 great bits with it. And I'm like...
I wouldn't take the mustache off.
Yeah?
Yeah, no, you got too small and skinny now. You're just going to look really gay.
Oh!
If you shave the mustache off, you're just going to look, I'm Dean.
Get out of here, dude.
Don't do it. Keep the mustache, buddy.
Well, the mustache is just like, I don't know. I like to change it up, but it's just like, all right.
Goatee it then.
No, I hate the goatee. The face pussy.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the face pussy.
What about a beard?
Beard, pure gray. Then I got to just dye it all the time. It is pure gray.
Mine's pretty white as well.
And then I'm already considered old in the business. I don't want to look like Santa, but I love beards, like just dirty old Jim Morrison beards.
Yeah.
That's
how does your beard grow in?
It grows great.
Solid?
Fuck yeah, like a great beard. I had one in that movie Hell Ride, and I love when I see the photos from the stills from the shoot. I'm like, God, that's a
Do you have a picture of it?
Yeah. You fired up for the special to come out?
I haven't watched it.
Really?
So I can't. Like, it was sent to me many times, and I can't watch myself.
No shit.
It's a really fucking bizarre thing.
Now, your brother manages you, so he watched it. Does he like it?
He watched it. He sat in on the edits and stuff, and then, obviously Netflix had a little bit of say in the editing, like, no, can you take that out, put this back in? And, we fought him a little bit on it, but, what are you going to do? It's ultimately... It is what it is now, so if, hopefully people like it. I haven't seen it, but I heard it's funny.
How?
But people are, that's the thing, people are going to say it's funny to you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I don't really trust it until I hear somebody say it sucks, and then I'm like, hey, what do you mean it sucks? I thought it was great. You don't think it's good till you have to defend it.
That's so fucking funny. Like, yeah, that's like... Now, what is it? Crowd work on it, or what is it?
Of course, there's a lot of crowd work on it because that's one of my favorite things to do.
Do you prefer crowd work because it's so electric and instantaneous?
For me, yeah.
Does it make you lazy not to write? Like, I can just go out and do crowd work and murder it?
Well, yeah, it does make you lazy. But fuck them. You know what I mean?
After all those years, huh?
Yeah. I've written enough jokes in my time that can I just take a break? And this is my process. It's not like I'm just trying to be lazy. This is my process for writing. I get up there, talk to you, see what happens, and if something sparks with me, I go, okay, I can use that again later.
Yeah.
These are just little nuggets I'm collecting together in my little bag of material.
What? So is that why you're going to start? You're going to do some hosting on Sarah Mello's shows, a couple of them or whatever.
I'm doing Sarah's show next Tuesday and tonight.
Is it good to host because then you're just riffing?
Yeah, because you're not tied to material if you're hosting.
Right.
I always find it weird when the host does material. I'm like, well, you're not really hosting at that point. You're just performing.
I'm with you on the same thing. They hijack a show. Like they'll say, oh, I'll host just so they can get on. And then they don't host at all. They just walk on and do material and bring you up.
Yeah.
And they don't even care if they bombed or not.
Yeah, it fucks me up when the host says, that's my time. No,
yeah.
That's not your time.
Yeah.
You're hosting. Your time is the whole show.
Yeah, it's crazy, right? I was just in Canada doing shows, and they do it different there where the host is the strong guy and the feature.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I agree with that, too. I mean, I always tell the clubs here that I think the MC should be paid more than the middle.
Yeah.
Because he's the one who needs the chops to host it and keep it together, and he's the one doing actually the most work.
Yeah, because he's there all fucking night.
Yeah.
And so the way it works in Canada, if people don't know, is the host comes on, then he brings the feature on, then he comes out and he does another like 15 minutes and then brings the headliner on. Yeah. So he's kind of like the guy running the show and keeping it up and down, you know? Now, if you get a bad host, you're fucked then. You know what I mean?
Yeah, a bad host is always terrible.
Oh, it is, because
He can also sabotage the show if he wanted.
Yeah.
You know, if he doesn't like you, he doesn't have to give you a good intro or whatnot. That's the thing. You can't let your personal feelings show up on stage. I mean, that's unprofessional, I think.
Yeah, it's just like, who cares, right? You got to, it's just, to me, it's all about, let's have a great show.
Yeah,
right?
That's all I want. I want people to leave there going, what a great show we saw tonight.
Now, you just landed a TV show, right? Indian Detective?
Yeah, the Indian Detective.
And what's going on with that?
We start shooting in January in South Africa. And
South Africa? Now, why are you shooting out there?
We're using South Africa to double as India.
Really?
Yeah, it's
you can't shoot in India?
You can, but there's so many people there. I don't know why we're not doing it there, but I'm not bothered by it being in South Africa either.
Yeah.
I think, probably for whatever reason they're doing it there, but that's where they're doing it.
And what's that for? Canadian TV?
It's for Canadian channel that's like Netflix. It's called Crave.
Yep.
Crave TV.
Oh, cool.
And I think Crave and Netflix buy each other's products.
Oh, really?
From each other. So they have a show on Crave. The reason I went with Crave is because they have a show on there called Letterkenny.
Yeah.
Which I think you would love. I fucking love this show. It's so funny.
What's it about?
It's just about a small town in northern Ontario, Canada.
Yeah.
And it's like these hick guys, but it's so funny.
Kind of like the old school Newhart show with Larry, David, and Dave. Remember that?
No. This is like
Larry, Daryl,
way funnier, way edgier.
Really?
Yeah, like, I'll play it for you when we're
like
done.
The young ones? Remember
the
that?
young ones from England?
Yeah, remember that?
Neil?
Yeah, Neil. With the long hair.
No, I don't remember that.
Oh, yeah. You fucking asshole. Now, was it your show or did somebody write it for you? What's going on there?
It was brought to me and then it was written around me. And Frank Spotnitz is the showrunner.
Yeah.
Frank Spotnitz used to be the showrunner for, it was either 24 or X-Files, one or the other.
Oh, wow.
I never watched either, so.
Are you fired up to do it?
I am. I gotta really drop some weight, though, before I go do it.
Oh,
I need to drop at least minimally 25 pounds.
Wow. Well, you could be a fat detective. They all are. Columbo.
I don't want to be a fat detective.
Not Columbo, but what was Ironside?
Because you're going to look fat regardless.
Oh, I look fat on TV.
Oh,
it's
yeah,
crazy.
And you're skinny as shit now.
Now I am, yeah. But I mean, like whenever I was on movies, oh my God. Like my buddy was like, hey man, did they make you wear like a fat suit? Because I'm just like giant, you know? It's crazy.
Yeah. It's funny because when I look at myself, for the Almost Famous special,
yeah,
I hired Alex Ariza to train me. Alex Ariza is a strength and conditioning coach. He used to be Manny Pacquiao's strength and conditioning coach,
right?
And then he's Floyd Mayweather's strength and conditioning coach. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna get the best guy in the game, and I wanted him to get me skinny, thin. He got me fit.
Oh.
But you couldn't tell. You would just look at me like,
yeah, like you could run a couple miles, no problem, but you still look the same.
Yeah, because he had me eating like every 2 hours.
Oh,
and I was like, fuck, dude, I look the same. Like I mean, when I watch it now, I could see that I was thinner than I am right now.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm like, I wanted to get skinny. I didn't want to get. He was getting me big. I was getting muscular, and I didn't want to be fucking big. I wanted to be smaller.
Now, I always feel,
and by the way, Frank Spotnitz was the showrunner for the X-Files.
X-Files, got ya. I feel, is this a myth? I wonder about this because you have a lot of money, and I always say people that have a lot of money, don't they just hire a chef and they're good to go? Like just eat the cleanest foods.
You would think that.
Yeah. But you're still outside of the house, right?
No, it's not. I don't know what it is. Like at some point, you got to figure out what foods work for you and what foods don't.
Yeah, I think you gotta get diabetes like me, and then you just fucking.
That's honestly that's what I kept asking you about it last night. I'm like, how do I get this diabetes?
Well, I always say diabetes probably saved my life. You know what I mean? Because without it, I'd just keep going and going until boom, I just popped. It's so hard. How old are you?
46.
Yeah, I'm 50, and it's just like...
It's so much harder. You literally, day by day, it gets harder and harder.
I know, and I love...
And the only thing that doesn't get harder is your dick.
I love cereal. I love ice cream. I love pizza, and I love fucking Swedish fish, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I could just eat that.
Is there any cereal you can eat now?
Yeah, I
Like
can.
Special K and shit like that?
There's a couple of like Cheerios. I
Plain
think.
Cheerios.
Yeah, plain Cheerios. I like plain Cheerios.
I actually like plain Cheerios as well.
Me too. But you see me on the road. I just eat fucking
Sugar after sugar.
sugar after sugar after sugar. You know.
You used to chug Red Bulls? Like
No,
there was nobody.
no, I never. No, Arnold Palmer's.
Yes, that's what
Yeah,
it was.
Arnold Palmer's all day. Remember, like
Yeah.
you and I would go eat breakfast, and I have like 6 Arnold Palmer's.
Yeah, I didn't understand that either.
I know, man. I got an addictive personality.
Yeah, how long you been sober now?
Well, I'm not sober. I just don't party. But 92, I think, was the last.
You're
time.
not sober?
Well, I'm not one of those guys where I'm part of a program or anything.
Yeah, you just gave up on it.
Just gave up. Yeah, I got a pretty strong will. I can quit stuff, but then it goes into another category.
Yeah.
So,
I had a chef,
yep.
and then and she was great. She made great food and everything. But then I went on the road and I was on tour, so I didn't eat her then. And when I got back, Ruzi started cooking, and Ruzi's food turned out to be better than anybody else's food that I've eaten.
Oh yeah, I just ate it.
Oh yeah, and I was like, oh shit, we don't need a chef. I got you.
That food was great. Now
And I could bang you.
you're engaged.
Yeah, we got engaged.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now
Fucking the chef.
you're fucking the chef. The chef's pretty hot. I've never seen a chef that hot. I got to tell you, man, it was pretty insane out on the road with you. I got to be on a private jet.
Oh yeah, that was cool, right?
Oh my God. There's nothing like doing Colorado than flying home after the gig and being able to do the store at midnight.
Yeah.
How fucking crazy. Like, yeah, hey, because, I'm known for doing a lot of spots. So like, where were you earlier? Boulder. Boulder. Denver. Yeah, I was in Denver. It was like, what? That is insane, man.
Yeah,
I love it, man.
We got to get it in the right way, Dino.
You got to be hands down probably one of the nicest guys I've ever met. You fucking helped me big time. Gave me some great spots. And you're one of the first guests on this podcast.
That was number 2, right?
Yeah, gave me Count Chocula as a gift.
Yeah, that was in my old house.
It was in your old house. I didn't even know you. It was amazing because I think that to me, you're a lot like what I think a lot of people are like, who? You know what I mean? I remember specifically reading the top 10 Forbes list, and it was like, you were like number 1 or something.
2 or 3 back
2 or
then.
3, and you're like 36 million for the year. And I was like, who's that guy? I remember you pulled in, you had like a Rolls or something at the factory, and I was like, wow, this guy's killing it, man.
Yeah, now I'm number 9.
Number 9.
Now I'm way down the list.
Number 9. Yeah, but I'd rather be number 9 than fucking number 900.
That's it.
You got to keep your eye. You got to keep perspective, right?
Yeah, I mean, everything's perspective to me. I don't ever get caught up in the business too much.
Yeah.
I mean, there's moments, but, I shake my head and get out of it.
Yeah, I get there too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
It's easy to get caught up in it.
It really is, especially if you're out on the road and you have a couple bad shows. Instantly, you're like, oh, right?
Oh, yeah, there's times where we really question, can I still do this?
Yeah. Do you ever think about just quitting social media and stuff so you're not?
I wish.
So you're not in the mix?
I hate social media.
Yeah.
I just fucking hate it.
And you do it because you're in the biz, right?
Yeah, you do it because you have to do it.
At what point do you think you don't have to do it? Louis C.K. dropped out.
Louis dropped out. I don't think Chris Rock really does it. And Chappelle doesn't do it.
Chappelle doesn't do it at all.
Does Burr do it?
Burr a little bit, just like sports stuff or whatever for fun,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would love to drop out. I mean, we're of that age where we're at the age where it's like, well, we can have an excuse as to why we don't do it, or we could just be bullied into doing it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I do it more so to keep in touch with, to keep the fans around the world alerted.
Yeah, that's true because you're international, man.
Yeah. So, but even still, I don't. I don't know if you follow me on anything, but I don't really tweet or Instagram that much to begin with.
Yeah, you don't. You follow people though.
I follow people. I look at it. I like pictures. Now and then, maybe once a week or something, I'll do something, but nothing major.
Yeah.
Then I have little splurts where I just go nuts, like that, because they have that stories now, I guess, on Instagram.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, so I'll be out and I'll just keep posting stories,
Yeah, I have a lot of I've had some watch people on. Kevin Christie and I we do episodes on watches.
Kevin Christie.
Yeah, he's a comedian.
Yeah.
And you're a watch guy. You stunned me last night with the Panda. You got the Daytona, the new one with the ceramic bezel. What a fucking watch.
Oh, that's good, huh?
It's great. I was talking to you about it last night, and I'm thinking in my head, do you think you could ever just be a guy with one watch, one car, and just like, or do we do that out of boredom? Like, let's get something new.
No, I mean, I think we could, you could definitely be that guy. It's a much easier life to be that guy.
I fantasize about that, trying to be like,
and I'm actually trying to be more like that guy because, I have a lot of excess in my life.
Yeah.
And I think it's time to trim the fat a little bit,
And I think a lot of times when people think that you're going to trim the fat or something, they're thinking like, oh, he must be hurting or something.
Yeah, that's funny. Somebody said, I heard you're liquidating. I'm like, no, I'm not liquidating, you stupid fucking retard.
Yeah.
I don't need 7 cars.
I know.
I don't need 7 cars. What am I going to do with them?
Yeah.
I don't need 30 watches.
Yeah.
I don't need 5 houses. I'm just trying to take it down to what I need.
Yeah, I think when you bring it down too, and believe me, like I don't have anything. I'm totally broke. But I could see immediately where I would get into that too. Like, okay, I've got every one of the Rolexes. I've got all the 911s I wanted. Now I have each Harley from each year. And after a while,
it doesn't mean anything.
It doesn't fill the hole, right?
It doesn't fill the hole. It's not even that. It's just you don't. I don't know about you, but personally, I don't get attached to these material things.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
which I think is good because I'm not overly invested in them, other than financially paying for them. But I could give or take. People are like, oh, what about that? I'm like, you know what? I don't need it.
Yeah. I'm the same way where I always say I wish I could own something more than 2 months and not have to sell it. You know what I mean? Like I'll get something, I'll go, uh-oh, bad month. I got to sell it. Thank God I'm not like that. Like, oh, I'm attached to that.
Yeah, I'm not attached to much. You know? It's all very material things. I think, the more family and love you get around you, the more you get attached to that.
Yeah.
Because that's something you can't replace, It sounded really deep and gay just now, but it was true.
But it's true, though. To me, it's like, I look at it as like, we're gone so much that then the stuff's just sitting in your house and you're never there.
Yeah.
So to me, I like to streamline. I was telling you last night, it would be like anything that's on me, like the ultimate jacket, the perfect watch, and some great glasses. That's all I've got while I'm out on the road, it's great.
Yeah, that's the same thing. When I'm on the road is where you find out what you need.
It's true, right?
Because, I'll take a certain outfits with me and maybe a watch or 2 at the most.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, yeah, this got me through the weekend, no problem. I didn't want my other clothes. It was just, I go, that really shows you what you want and what you need. And
yeah, you start living out of that one bag. And you realize...
Even when I get home, I end up wearing the same clothes. I'm like, well, it's just easier.
Yeah.
And then I see all the variety, and I'm like, oh, wait, I can wear that, too.
It's so fucking crazy. That's what I think comedians are actually really crazy in all different ways. You know what I mean? We're just lunatics out there,
Yeah, we're idiots.
Yeah, we are idiots.
Comedians are just children.
Yep.
Adult children is
That's
what
what
we are. Like a child, we don't censor what we say.
Yeah. Yep. We wake up and go to bed whenever we want, we watch cartoons.
Yeah. I would love to be able to wake up whenever I want, but
it's
as
crazy.
you get older and you get more responsibilities, that goes out the fucking window.
Yeah, big time, right?
Yeah.
So your special comes out Friday, and
Friday, October 7th.
And Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
And you're pretty proud of it?
From what I remember of the night, yes.
Yeah.
I remember having a good time and really enjoying that set and thinking to myself, I think this is a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
you don't often think like that.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
It's so funny. Like, I think that, always the newest material is my best, and then I don't even care about the other stuff. So you'll never do that stuff again.
No, probably not.
It's different than, bands,
Yeah,
what I mean?
I always try to explain to, when I'm doing interviews, with people that aren't in the business or the comedy business, that, comedians and musicians do things reverse.
Yeah.
Musicians record an album and go on tour with the album. Comedians go on tour and then record the album.
Yeah, I know. And by then, they never want to see it again.
Yeah.
It's the reverse
Yeah, because
thing.
comedy has to be that element of surprise.
It does. It really does. Now you're gonna do Indian comedian, and then what?
Indian detective.
Indian detective, and then start fucking
Well,
on the road again.
yeah, I'm supposed to be off until January,
Right.
and supposed to, I guess, enjoy my off time, but I can't.
Yeah.
Like that's the
Workaholic.
comic in me. So that's why I'm out there. I'm back in the clubs. I'm working, and I put up some club dates just to try and work shit out.
Oh, where are you doing them?
I think I'm doing Ontario, Irvine, San Jose, and Oxnard.
Oh, wow! I can't wait. I remember the last time you and I did the Bay Area. It was so epic because you let me do the theater where I started seeing comedy, the
Right.
Paramount Theater. It was a dream to
That
do
was
it.
one in Oakland, right?
Yeah, and that's where I saw Chris Rock. That's where I saw. Who else did I see? Oh, Seinfeld.
Yeah.
When he did that comedian documentary,
Yeah.
at the end you see him walk out there, and it was really one of the highlights of my life to do the Paramount Theater, man. So I can't thank you
Your
enough.
family came out, didn't they?
Yeah, everybody came out. It was great,
Yeah.
man. All my friends and shit. They're like, whoa, he's doing the Paramount.
Yeah.
And man, the look at that. I remember going, it had 6 balconies, and I went to the top and watched you. And it was the people at the very top back were dying laughing.
That's crazy.
Fully engaged.
Yeah, it's fun. I miss all that. I mean, that's probably the other thing is, I guess all the adoration becomes an addiction,
Yeah, it does, right?
and the minute you don't hear the cheers and the laughter and people excited to see you, you start thinking, uh-oh, is my career over?
Yeah.
And I literally get that fucking panic every time.
You get that?
Every single time I start thinking, shit, I think my career is over. Because I'm not aligned with anybody, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not the guy that I'm not the go-to name when people talk about the top guys.
Does that bother you?
A little bit, because I always, and I'm not saying I'm as good as or what have you, but, I'm as good as in a different way.
Right.
So, they're like, oh, Burr, CK, Rock, Chappelle. And I'm like, okay.
Right.
And then when people talk about me, it's never funny. It's always, he's very successful, very successful.
Yeah, that's crazy because I think that comes down to people have not seen you. I still think that's what it is.
Yeah, it's weird to me, but I guess after a certain while, you just go, fuck it. I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm capable of, and eventually they'll pick up. And when they do, I can be like, yeah, stupid. I've been here fucking 27 years. Where you been? By the time they're gonna catch on, it's gonna be 30 years, I would say at least.
It's amazing because I think that you have some of the fastest, funniest wit I've ever seen. Where you're on stage and I watch it, and I think every comedian can learn from you of how fast you can riff on the crowd. It's unbelievable to me, man. And to me, just that alone is a crown jewel of like, if you're going through guys, you go, this guy, incredible one-liner. This guy, amazing storyteller. And then they get to you, this guy, fucking smoking crowd work, Yeah,
I do pride myself on the crowd work.
It's unbelievable.
And I heard you pried yourself out of a man's ass once.
What?
the-
You fucking guy, you.
Yeah, see what I did there?
All right, everybody, watch his special.
All right, this is a wrap, motherfuckers.
No, I don't fucking with it. And then come see us at the San Jose Improv.
Improve.
I remember last time we drove the cars up.
We may do that again.
Really? It was amazing.
I like the drives.
It was cool. We took the G-Wagon,
Oh, yeah.
and then we took the Audi.
Yeah, those are all gone.
Yeah. But that
My ex-wife has the G-Wagon.
the G-Wagon was great.
Oh, it was beautiful, yeah.
Wow. And
then,
man, I drove your car last night, the fucking Jaguar.
Oh, yeah.
Tell them what model that
It's
is.
the F-Type R with the ceramic brakes and everything. It's got it's the full package, the real deal, that car.
I couldn't believe the power. So you said put it in sport mode.
Yeah.
And then I got out. It was late night in Beverly Hills. I got by the Beverly Hills Hotel. I did a U-turn and started going up Sunset.
Yeah.
And I felt like just like a rock star in it. I had Boneyard going, and Sabbath was playing Hole in the Sky. And I hit it. And it just went...
Yeah.
and my fucking face started laughing how fast it was. I couldn't believe the speed.
It's a little rocket, that car.
Oh my God. And then I did it 2 or 3 more times. Like, that can't be real. You know what I mean? Like,
It sounds mean. I told you last night, I said, I think it feels like a motorcycle.
yeah.
If a motorcycle was a car, that's what that would be.
It was funny because you kept saying, drive it. I was like, nah, I'm good. And then once I drove it, I was like, I'm so fucking glad I drove that. What an experience. Like, I'll be telling that story years down the road. Like, oh, I drove this Jaguar one time, and it was straight up like a rocket. That thing's insane. All right, well, thank you, dude.
Thanks, Dino.
Congrats on everything.
Good
always.
seeing you. Good seeing you alive and healthy.
Yeah, fucking
sugar-free.
Sugar-free and
whatever weight you lost,
gravel
I'm pretty
free.
sure I found.
I just passed it to you. Here, take
clearly.
this
I'm
30.
like, take it back, fuckface.
You'll get there. You know what? You'll get there. I know you because I know how you operate. You know what I mean? Put your mind to something like, look, you wanted a DJ, which, by the way, if you guys are listening to this and you're like, well, he didn't even talk about how he started or his old one. He was the second guest on here, number 2, and this is 293 or 4 or something. So go back and listen to his life story of
that
how
must have
this.
been 2011?
It was a long
Or
time
12,
ago.
maybe? No, 11, I
12,
think.
34, 50. Yeah, man. It was like, I've been doing this 4.5 years, so long fucking time.
Yeah.
But go back and listen to that and then look at his stuff, watch his special, and then look at him on YouTube because he tells the story how his special was cut up and turned into viral videos by fans.
Yeah.
Which is an amazing story.
Fans of which I knew I didn't have.
Yeah.
I didn't know I had, rather.
That's so fucking great. Thank you so much for everything, dude.
Thanks, Dino.
I love you. Russell Peters right there. Follow him on Instagram and Twitter.
At Russell Peters.
At Russell Peters.
And at The Real Russell P on Twitter.
And he loves Kiss.
I do love Kiss.
Favorite Kiss song?
Ooh, it depends on what mood I'm in.
Yeah.
In my head, you know what song is my go-to? Is Making Love.
Making love.
Remember?
Making love. Making love.
It was the guitar lick at the beginning.
Oh, I love that. Dun, 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 dun. Is that side 4 of Alive 2? Oh,
It's on Alive 2.
Alive 2 on
But
that
it was
weird
on,
studio
I think it was
side.
on Rock. No, it was live.
It's live?
Yeah, it was on Rock and Roll Over, though.
Oh, I love Baby Wants a Ride.
Yeah.
Baby
Rocket
wants
ride.
a ride.
Yeah.
She wants a rocket ride.
Yeah. Maybe you should go fill in for Paul because I think his voice is straining a
Oh,
little bit
man.
nowadays.
My Paul's back because my voice was a little fried for a while from the crash, but you know, I live and love you, baby.
Yeah, that's it.
I love what you got.
Yeah, he can't do it anymore.
I love you, man. Thank you. See you guys.
See.